All right, everybody, it's the broadcast of the Every Star Network, sponsored by the E Nation. I am Maximum Black. Listen, tonight we got a pretty good show. Got a couple of crazies running around. When I saw these stories, what bothered me about the first one is that some fake pro blacks or some so called pro blacks is trying to save this guy and trying to make it seem as if black people don't go crazy. And I think that's the wrong approach. Now, I did see a couple of black people treating this the right way, but too many other pro blacks with these shows, with these gimmicks, these fake pro blacks, or these wannabe pro blacks who really don't understand what pro black mean, is trying to keep this guy in house with the rest of us. No dice. It's time we start separating ourselves from people who are criminally insane. Yes, the black ones. And we're going to talk about white boy gone Doc Holliday. And we're going to talk about how the Rittenhouse Defense can be used to free a black teen who murdered a sex trafficker. Okay? It's all next on Gangsta Talk. Go ahead, Dane, drop it.
Hey, this is stoner music, man.
All right. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to a broadcast of the Ebony Star Network, sponsored by the E Nation. We are Gangsta Talk. I am Maximum Black, aka the Black Knight, aka the Notorious Gangster Simp. Always by my side is Dane Frankie, who is also my producer and my engineer, as well as my co-host. Um, Dan, go ahead and get that FBI thing out of the way. Sound check, everybody. Hey, Mika, what's going on? Shout out to my man Polo. Polo Sports in the building. Then go ahead and get that FBI thing out of the way. Okay. Apparently, Dame is having some technical
Sorry,
difficulties.
I was in the middle of it. Okay. All right, here we go. Let's cover our bases with the fair use. This channel may contain content not authorized for use by its owner. However, according to Section 107 of the Copyright Act of the United States, the fair use, I repeat, the fair use of copyrighted work for purposes such as criticism, yes, comments, definitely, news reporting, for those who don't know, teaching, we're all going to learn something new today. Scholarship or research is not an infringement of copyright.
All right, Dame, throw up the picture. Darryl Brooks.
All right. Here we go.
Just the picture for now. And make sure you got the video set, all right? All right, y'all. This fool you see on the screen is somebody who is completely out of his mind. Okay? And they're trying to associate him with black people. You know, they're trying to treat us as a monolith. It seems like every time one black person does something cockamamie, crazy, or insane, we all did it. We have to stop allowing this to happen. We have to start standing up for ourselves. We have to start separating ourselves from the black criminally insane. Now, I only seen two people, other than myself, come at this correctly. Okay? And Q Butter was one of them. Shout out to Q Butter. I saw a lot of pro-blacks, wannabe pro-blacks, you know, talk black to me, I'll be black, and all this other extra animated blackness. That's really unnecessary. You know, if you really truly pro-black, you don't need all this extra animated blackness, okay? So they approach this the wrong way. You know, they're trying to make excuses for this black man's behavior. And they're somehow trying to attach this to white supremacy, and they're somehow trying to attach this to years of slavery. Let me put a kibosh on that right now. If you are 30, 40 years old, 50 years old, okay, you haven't gone through slavery. Okay? So you cannot be suffering from something you haven't gone through. Now, we're using this slavery excuse to the point where it's starting to become a detriment to us. It's kind of like the little boy who cried wolf too many times. It's kind of like somebody who's gone to the well one too many times. It's kind of like somebody doing a bungee jump, right, several times, and then one time that bungee cord snaps. It's kind of like somebody who jumps out of an airplane and the parachute never opens. It's getting to that point. Every time you turn around, whenever somebody black does something crazy and insane, slavery keeps coming up. Okay? We have too many black people using slavery for a selfish and personal excuse. No, black people have bad people in our race and have crazy people in our race just like everybody else. And there's nothing wrong with acknowledging that. There's nothing wrong with admitting that. Every race of people have crazy and dangerous people in their race. We are no exception. It is not black power to try to justify this maniac's behavior. This man is a lunatic. There's nothing black power about what he did. There's nothing black power about his mentality. There's nothing black power about his behavior. There's nothing black power about getting into a domestic situation and fleeing from that situation and plowing into a crowd of people with your vehicle trying to kill as many as possible. That's not black power. That's not talk black to me. That's not no black nothing. That's called insanity. And we need to separate ourselves from people like this. And one of the quickest ways you do it is you speak out against it and you denounce the behavior. All this guilt by association stuff, we need to start defending ourselves and standing up against it. This man is not a part of us. Yes, he's black, but he's a lunatic. And he needs to hold his own L. I'm not going to be responsible for his behavior. You shouldn't be responsible for his behavior. None of us should be responsible for his behavior, and none of us should try to save him by yelling black power and saying crazy things like he's the victim of slavery. I've heard some Negroes say, well, in slavery, they turned us on top of our head. Us who? I've never been enslaved. My ancestors have, but I haven't. I don't know what it's like to be a slave. I don't want to find out. I don't think about going to my job and making money to do some of the things that I want to do in life that I enjoy, working on a plantation. I don't see it that way. Now, I've heard other Negroes say, well, if you go into a job, you go into a plantation. Okay, then quit the job. If that's the way you feel. I don't see it that way. I'm not a slave, and I've never been a slave. Nobody makes me work against my will. I get paid to do what I do. Okay? There's no one cracking my back open with a whip. Now, is there white supremacy out here? Do I experience racism? Absolutely. But I am not a slave, nor have I ever been enslaved. Neither have many of you. So we need to stop with this. Well, during slavery, they did this to us. Us who? You mean our ancestors? Because they didn't do anything to us. What was done to our ancestors was done to them, not us. And it's disrespectful to try to use our ancestors to cover up this lunatic's actions. This man is a maniac who needs to be off the street. I don't care what the color of his skin is. There's nothing black power about this. And and shamefully, a couple of people, somebody I really respect. And one woman who covered this, I absolutely love and adore. And I was so disappointed. But it's okay. We are allowed to make mistakes. There's a couple of people I actually respect trying to put this guy under black power and slavery. I heard all of this compensatory this and like, man, are you kidding me? This dude is crazy. I've only heard two black people address this properly, and Q Butter was one of them. Shout out to Q Butter. And yo, man, y'all get over there and support Q Butter with the Zayak Institute. Q Butter is a bad man, okay? He's doing big things over there with the Zayak Institute. So, shout out to him, and let's get out there and support him. And the only two that I heard that addressed this properly. Ain't nobody with this shit. I'm not with this shit. Hello?
Okay, hello. Hadn't heard anything since nobody's with this crap. Okay. Well, it was just true. Nobody is with this. You know, Trying to find some all kind of excuse because we thinking that we can't or we shouldn't cut off our black folks off. But hey, this is an enemy of the community. You know, he has no regard for life. Um, the world's gonna look at him as representing us, and if we go around defending him, excusing what he done, try to give excuses for what he done, and stuff like that, they're gonna think that he's a representation of us. hmm we just gonna have to face it. We can't claim everybody. You know, I used to tell this to a few of my cousins. Okay, you do something ignorant and wrong that's gonna get you in trouble. I'm not claiming you. Now, at the time, I was saying joking, but I was serious. If you do something you're not supposed to be doing, and I'm around, and you try to claim you with me, I'm not gonna claim you. He's not with me. It was him and him alone that did what he did. So, no sympathy. This man was fleeing domestic violence. So, do you want to claim domestic violence? You know, he thought the police was after him. No, police weren't after him. Ain't know anything about it. At least not the ones at the parade. Ain't know anything about it. Yeah, all skin folks ain't kin folks. Yeah. So well, yeah. I'm a little sick. Hey people. But this guy, he got some issues. So don't be taking on his baggage. Yeah. Because there's no way we can excuse somebody that runs through a parade. He runs over a parade barrier. He runs
Okay.
over people and kids.
I'm back, y'all.
Okay.
Yeah, Mika, she's a little under the weather. She's playing the background tonight. I'm gonna do most of all the talking. You know, I'm always looking after her. So she's gonna be like pretty much in the background and not talking that much. But yeah, we're both sick, man. I don't know, it could be something like the weather changed. All of a sudden, everybody's sick. But okay, yeah. So like I was saying, right, y'all, this guy's behavior has nothing to do with us, and we need to stop allowing people to treat us like a monolith. We're not just one big nigga, or we're not just one unit like that. And you know what? I'm offended that whenever something terrible happens, they want to unify us, and we keep falling for that. You should be offended that they want to unify you and see you as one people whenever somebody black does something unspeakable. Stop falling for that. We don't stand in unity with shit like this. What do they say? E pluribus unum. We stand as one, not with this. We don't stand e pluribus unum on this. This is psycho shit. And like I said, I only heard 2 people cover this the right way. We have to stop allowing ourselves to be, we have to stop letting guilt by association condemn us all. We have to start speaking up for ourselves. We have to start standing up for ourselves. We have to start speaking out. No, white people, okay? That's his L. We don't have nothing to do with that. I don't care that he's black. Everybody black ain't stable. Like I said before, just like every other race on this earth, black people have their fair share of crazy and bad people. But the difference with us and everybody else, everybody gets to separate themselves from their lunatics and their bad people. You see, in other races of society, the lunatics and the bad people, they take their own L's. But for some reason, right, black people have to take the L's of every black person in the black race. And it's time that stops. It's time to put a stop to that. It's time to start standing up for ourselves and say, no, let that lunatic take his own L. He doesn't have anything to do with me. I will not be responsible for this maniac's behaviors. It's just that simple. And I'm just, I'm disappointed in the so-called. I've heard some people who fancy themselves as pro-black, even though they're not. The whole extra black thing, put black on everything. That's not pro-black. Okay, but I've heard them do this and try to justify this man's behavior or try to even out his behavior with white devilish behavior. No. Forget all of that. Forget about slavery. Forget about trying to equalize his behavior. This man is flat out wrong. He ran into a crowd and he murdered people with his vehicle. He needs to take his own L and pay the consequences, and everybody need to leave the rest of us out of it. We don't have shit to do with this lunatic. Dane, power up the video. Okay, if you're about to see a live video, this is tough to watch. But I want you to take a look at this because I want you to see what they're trying to associate all of us with. Go ahead, Dane, play it. Make sure we got sound. Play it.
40 casualties down Main Street. Alert all the hospitals.
This horror at high speed.
Wow!
Now revealed to be an intentional act.
A lone subject intentionally drove his maroon SUV through barricades into a crowd of people that was celebrating the Waukesha Christmas parade.
Police say the driver of this vehicle seen racing through the Waukesha Holiday Parade Sunday will be charged with killing 5 people ages 52 to 81, as more victims continue to fight for their lives.
The suspect involved in this tragic incident is identified as Daryl E. Brooks, male, 39 years of age, who is a resident of the city of Milwaukee. And we are confident he acted alone. There's no evidence that this is a terrorist incident.
Police say Daryl Brooks was driving away from the scene of a domestic disturbance when he plowed through the Christmas parade. It was not his first interaction with police this month. A criminal complaint from earlier in November shows a list of charges, including recklessly endangering safety, disorderly conduct, and battery. The complaint also alleges Brooks, quote, intentionally and without consent, ran another person over with his vehicle while they were walking through the parking lot. He was out on $1,000 bail, a recommendation the DA says was, quote, inappropriately low. CNN reached out to Brooks's attorney regarding the incident earlier this month, but has not yet received a response. In addition to those killed, nearly 50 people were injured Sunday, including several children.
6 of these patients were sent to the operating room last night, and 2 additional patients are undergoing surgeries today.
Children's Hospital Milwaukee confirms it received 18 patients Sunday evening, ages 3 to 16, including 3 sets of siblings.
Injuries ranged from facial abrasions to broken bones to serious head injuries.
I could see kids just laying on the street, people putting blankets over them, trying to attend to them, kids screaming on the sidewalks.
At least one witness says the driver continued to speed through the street, even after hitting several people.
It hit at least 2 people right away, rolled over both of them, and then kept going. It didn't stop.
All right. Okay. You know, anybody who wants to look at this and blame slavery is out of their mind. Anybody who wants to look at this and claim black power is out of their mind. This is okay. Again, this lunatic needs to hold his own L. And black people need to stop coming to the aid of black people who are clearly in the wrong. We have to start cleaning up our society as black people. We got to start policing our own. Let's start with getting these damn lunatics off the street. This man had no business being on the street. He was already doing crazy things with domestic violence, already, having safety issues and things of that nature. What is he doing on the street? Period. I hate to say it, but some black folks need to be locked away and the key need to be thrown away. It's safe to say that. It's safe to say that by maintaining your integrity as a black person. You're not going to lose your integrity as a black person or your loyalty to black people by saying that some black people are animals and need to be thrown in a fucking cage. Or worse. Some of these niggas don't need to be out here walking around amongst normal people. Okay? Simple as that. I don't know why people are afraid to say that, but it's true. This fool shouldn't be out walking around with normal people. Look at what he just did. Oh, and we have an update too. Another person died, right, Dane? The death toll from that incident just rose, right?
Yeah, it rose up to 6. A child died from when he plowed through a crowd at the Christmas parade.
Right, and there's still people in the hospital fighting for their life, right? So we don't know. The fallout may continue because we don't know if the other people may make it.
Oh yeah.
But again,
Oh, and it was more than 48 that they initially did. It was 62 total that he ran over.
Right, and we got people trying to justify this, talking about some black power, talking about slavery messed us up. Are you kidding? This man is 39 years old. He has never been a slave. See, I'm not into all of this. Well, the slave mentality has been passed down through DNA, and my uncle was an Uncle Ruckus 300 years ago. Now I'm an Uncle Ruckus. I don't play those games. I don't get involved in none of that. I go by what I see right now in real time. I wasn't born 300 years ago. Okay, I was born in this time. I know for a fact I have never been a slave. I don't have a slave mentality. Okay? If you have a slave mentality, it's probably because you want to have one. You've never been enslaved. I wish we would cut it out. And people are making up their own version of slavery because they don't want to do anything with their lives. We have a lot of people who are just absolutely lazy and don't want to do anything with their lives. Okay? Unfortunately, we have a contingent of Black people who want to just be nobodies in life. They just want to exist. They just want to slide from one scene to the next and just exist and just be a nobody. They don't want to have any attachments to anything. They don't ever want to be anybody. They have no ambition. They have no one to. And these are the people that you hear tell you, oh, it was slavery. Slavery did it. This man is 39 years old. He's never been enslaved. Okay? This man is a flat out lunatic. That's what he is. Let's call it what it is. He's a freaking lunatic. He's a bad person. He's a bad man. He's a bad Black person. Let's call it what it is. Let's stop trying to make up this fairy tale slave nonsense. Oh, he's suffering from post-traumatic slave syndrome. I've heard some Negroes say he's suffering from post-traumatic slave syndrome. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Post-traumatic slave syndrome. Some people shouldn't have a platform. Some people, when they open up their mouth and the things that they say can be very damaging, depending on who's listening. Okay? If you look at this case, you look at this guy who's 39, and you say he's suffering from post-traumatic slave syndrome, you don't need to have a platform. You need to go somewhere, sit in the corner, and just be quiet. Okay? Try to help your race some other way. Just stop talking. Okay? Yes, you are responsible for your own actions, Kendall. You can't blame it on slavery. You've never been a slave. That's a ridiculous. I wish Black people would stop doing that. It's disrespect to our ancestors to say in this day and age that you are suffering from slavery. That's disrespect to what our ancestors went through. You are not suffering from, so you're suffering from white supremacy. You're suffering from racism, yes, but you're not suffering from slavery. That's disrespectful to our ancestors who were brutalized in slavery, who were burned alive, who was hung by the neck in front of their family members. You have any idea what goes through a young child's mind when they're helpless and they're seeing their parents hung outside the door and their feet are shaking and kicking because they're trying to gasp for breath and they're being hung by their neck and they're watching their parents' feet kick until they stop kicking? Or they watch their parents get set on fire and get burned alive. Stop playing with slavery. Our ancestors suffered some of the most inhumane and brutal atrocities in human history. You have not gone through that. You have not suffered through that. So please stop using slavery for people who are just rotten seeds. This man is just a rotten MFer. That's it. There's no other way to say it. He's a bad person. He's got the devil in him. He's a demon. This ain't got shit to do with no damn post-traumatic slavery. And I wish you fake black power people would stop it. You are embarrassing real pro-blacks. Let me tell y'all something. When y'all hear somebody get up here telling stuff like, talk black to me, I'll be black at you, it's the black attack, black this, black that, those are phonies. Those are not pro-black people. Okay? Pro-black, have you guys ever heard me say anything like that? You ever heard me say black at you? Talk black this, black this, black. You ever heard me do that? I don't need to do that. You know why? Because I am pro-black. Pro-black is my mentality. It's my lifestyle. I live pro-blackness. I don't need to get up here and say anything extra about being black. I don't need any gimmick. I don't need a movement. I don't need a flag. I don't need any of that. Pro-black is something that I was raised in. It's a part of my mental makeup. I don't have to say anything extra. I ain't got to say, hey, give me black on the backhand side. Black up, what's up? Black up. Black down, black this. I don't need to do any of that. That's these fake pro-blacks who are trying to convince you that there's something they're not, in order to exploit you financially. So you'll send them cash apps. You see, you don't know what pro-blackness is, so you think their version, their fake version of pro-black is what it's all about because it sounds cool. You know, hit me on the black hand side, talk black to me, black up, black down, black this, black that. And you really think that's some real shit. It gets to the point where some of y'all walking around here saying it, thinking you pro-black. None of that shit has anything to do with being pro-black. That is just a gimmick. It's a show. It's a put on designed to trick you into giving your hard-earned money to a charlatan, a skeever, a land pirate, a confidence person. Now, there's one person that I really like, Vicky Dillard, and she says talk black to me. I do believe Vicky Dillard is really, really pro. I'm not talking about her. There have been other people who said that term too. So those of y'all think I'm talking about Vicky Dillard, I'm not. I just want to get that out there to make sure y'all understand. I'm not talking about Vicky. I absolutely love Vicky Dillard. Okay? She's one of the hardest core pro-black people out here. And she be going after some real, real serious shit. So no, I'm not talking about Vicky Dillard. If anybody wanted to know, when I say talk, she ain't the only one saying it. I know it's kind of hard to believe, right? For those who know Vicky Dillard, you've only heard her say it, right? No, there's other people saying it. There's fake pro-black saying it. Okay, so no, this is no shot at Vicky Dillard. Okay? So anyway, so you saw it like I saw it, you know, a maniac. Hey, put his face back on the screen, Dang. Exactly, Mika. They use slavery for swirling too. Okay. Again, before we wrap it up and move to the white boy, this guy has nothing to do with the rest of us. Okay, and don't let them put people like this on you. Start speaking up for yourself. Stop allowing them to unify you. Okay, when something horrific is done by somebody black. Somebody black goes out and kills 30 children. All of a sudden, they want to unify black people. So they can say, we're all like that. Don't let them do that. Don't let them unify you in the face of unspeakable tragedies and psychotic acts. Okay? Don't let them do that. Start standing up for yourself. and force these people to take their own L's. And don't let nobody associate you with a lunatic like this. Again, Black people aren't special. Every race of people have bad people and crazy people. We have our fair share as well. The difference is other races, they're bad people, take their own L's. For some reason, our bad people give the rest of us an L. And we have to stop that. From now on, our bad people, our crazy people, need to be taking their own L's. Feel me? All right, next up, then. Bring up the white boy who went Doc Holliday. All right, this guy right here is a white boy, as you can see. He lost his mind. He went straight Doc Holliday. His parents brought a pistol. And now, we're not clear if they gave him the pistol, but they're going to be charged also. We're not sure if they gave him the pistol or he snuck the pistol out. But apparently the kid had knowledge of guns, also magazines. He knew what he was doing, okay? I wouldn't be surprised if he has games like Grand Theft Auto, Doom, SOCOM. I wouldn't be surprised. Because you can gain a lot of knowledge from those games on how to kill people and how to work with weapons, especially SOCOM. Okay, so especially gaining the knowledge of rounds and magazines and which rounds and magazines goes in what type of gun. You could get all that off of SOCOM. That's real life information on there. That's not made up. They ain't got fake information about fake guns on SOCOM. Okay? Apparently this kid went crazy. Apparently he was bullied. And he went and he got a pistol. He went to Michigan, Oxford High School. He started busting caps. He walked into the bathroom with a backpack, came out, started shooting. Now, my problem is this here. The kids he killed weren't the kids that were bullying him. Not sure what that was about. Dane, do we have any audio, any news audio of this kid?
Yes, we do. You ready?
All right,
for it?
roll it. Yeah, roll the video.
All right.
Call. They recovered a handgun from the suspect.
Tate Meir, Hannah St. Juliana, and Madison Baldwin were killed in the shooting, according to the Oakland County Sheriff, all under the age of 17.
Another 8 people were injured, 7 students and 1 teacher.
At least 3 of the injured are in critical condition.
This touches us all personally and deeply and will for a long time. This wound will never go away.
An Oxford High freshman took these videos while on lockdown during the shooting in his sign language class.
Sheriff's office. It's safe to come out.
Yeah, he said it's safe to come out.
Now, we're not willing to take that risk right now.
The students then evacuate, climbing through a window. Aiden Page says he was in the classroom when his teacher took quick action to protect the students sitting inside.
We heard 2 gunshots, and then after that, my teacher ran to the room, locked it, we barricaded, and then we covered the windows and hid. The very first thing in my head was, this is actually happening. I'm going to text my family, say I love them, just in case if I were to die.
Governor Gretchen Whitmer emotional while speaking about the shooting.
I think this is every parent's worst nightmare.
She also called for efforts to end gun violence.
This is a uniquely American problem that we need to address, but at this juncture, I think we need to focus on the community the families, supporting all the first responders, including the incredible people at our hospitals that are working so hard to save the lives of those who are fighting for their lives right now.
President Biden weighed in on the incident while on a visit in Minnesota.
As we learn the full details, my heart goes out to the families enduring the unimaginable grief of losing a loved one.
Meantime, in Michigan, the Oxford community is in mourning, stunned by the tragedy that ended 3 young lives far too soon.
They didn't deserve to die tonight, and just everybody who went through it, we're all a family, a community, and I think we really need to go through this together.
Now, let me tell you something.
You get somebody.
Dane? Okay. And let me tell you something. None of your scholars, none of your so-called hoteps, your 5%ers, all your so-called smart people won't tell you this because they don't know it themselves. And white people are finding out the hard way. What white people are suffering right now, if you notice, right, they're all of a sudden talking about gun violence. Now, nobody had a problem with gun violence when Tamir Rice got smoked. Nobody had a problem with gun violence when Breonna Taylor got smoked like a dog in her sleep. Okay? Nobody had a problem with gun violence when, what's the kid name who got smoked as soon as the cops showed up? Tamir Rice. You see, when black people were getting shot, and shout out to that brother who was murdered in cold blood, who was selling DVDs outside of a convenience store. I'll never forget that image, man. He was face down with his hands behind his back. The cop was sitting on his back. It was a chubby looking cop. Had the gun point blank to the back of the man's skull and kept yelling at him, telling him to stop moving. You can clearly see that the man wasn't moving. And he kept yelling, right? Thinking that the man was moving. But the only one that was moving was him. And then he shot this man at point blank range in the back of his head while he was face down, handcuffed, with him sitting on top of him, and then had the nerve to roll over and shoot him 3 more times as if the man made a move to begin with. I would show you that video, but it makes me so angry watching that video to see a black man murdered for doing nothing more than trying to make a few dollars to eat. Murdered in cold blood like that. And that cop did not face any charges. Nobody was talking about gun violence then. You didn't see any white people come out talking about gun violence. There was no governor or no mayor, white mayor or anybody of any town crying, talking about gun violence. Now that things are coming home to roost and their kids have gone crazy and their kids don't care nothing about race. As a matter of fact, their kids don't like their own race. And they're killing their own race. Now, all of a sudden, we need to do something about gun violence. I find that kind of ironic. But let me tell you what's happening to white people, okay? And all you guys who listen to these fake, phony-ass pseudo-scholars who tell you about Africa and all this other shit, right? But what they won't tell you is any real information that you can actually use and grow on and understand as you move through life, right? Well, I'm going to drop it on you right now. Some powerful knowledge. It's not going to sound powerful. It's going to sound very simplistic in nature. But it's very, very powerful. And at the end of the day, it always happens. Life is about balance. When the pendulum swings one way, it will eventually swing back the other way until it comes even again. So both sides will get what the other experienced before it balances out. Life is for that. That's one of the most powerful teachings that I can give you. You see, because when black people were getting murdered, the pendulum was on one side. Now the pendulum is swinging back the other way, and it's smacking white people upside their head before it balances out. See, you can't continue to do evil on a one-sided plane and expect evil not to happen on the other side. If you expect that, then you have no understanding of life. No understanding of life at all. Because the more you do something that is evil and is one-sided, eventually it will come back in the opposite direction. And let me tell you something. When it comes back in the opposite direction, it cannot be stopped. It's going to mow down anybody and everybody before it swings back balance again. You understand? So this is what white people are suffering right now. Life is starting to balance itself out. This is why you see their kids freaking out. This is why you see their kids committing suicide. This is why you see a lot of their women are going barren, not having children. And all these bad things are happening to white people. How they keep trying to fudge numbers because they're losing numbers at an alarming rate every single day. You understand? And so this is not the end for them. It's going to get worse for them because they've committed so many atrocities. The evil has to swing back in their direction in order for it to bounce out. And here's another thing too, right? Understand something. There are forces out here that you can engage in, but you can't control. Many people believe that once they engage in evil, that they can control evil. You cannot control evil. Evil does not have any loyalty to you. So once you commit it, once you engage in it, you can't stop it. And the more you engage in it, it will eventually claim you as well because it has no loyalty to you. It's a force. It's kind of like waves in the ocean, right? Once they get started and going in one direction, you can't stop them. And if you get in their way, you're going to get wet too. It doesn't care who you are. You understand? So white people think that they can control evil. They think that they can use evil whenever they want. Most white people anyway. They think they can use evil as some kind of tool. That they can just take it, some handy tool that they, put in their pocket. And, they walk around, oh, okay, you know what? I got this evil thing in my pocket. Let me pull it out. I'm going to use evil on you today. And then the next day, I'm not going to use evil. It doesn't work that way. Once you start using it and engaging it, you can't stop it. You can't control it. And so this kid goes Wyatt Earp, Doc Holliday. The reason why I said Wyatt Earp because how many of y'all know that Wyatt Earp was a killer? When y'all think about Wyatt Earp, do y'all think that he was a killer? Probably not, because they glorified him so much, right? They glorified him. They fixed it to where you couldn't see the simple fact about him, right? That he was actually a murderer and a serial killer. Because they hid him behind a badge, right? There was a gang called the Cowboys. Wyatt Earp declared his own law, right? The cowboys wore those sashes, right? If you had a red sash on, Wyatt Earp would kill you. Didn't talk to you, didn't want to handcuff you. He would just kill you because you was a cowboy. That's called murder, people. It's no wonder him and Doc Holliday got along because they were both killers. But when you hear about Wyatt Earp, you don't think that he was a killer. You think that he was a lawman. But he was more of a killer than a lawman. That's one of the reasons why he made such a good lawman, because he was willing to kill. He was a killer. That's why people was afraid of him, because they knew he was a killer. Wyatt Earp wasn't a nice man. He wasn't a cool white man. He was a fucking killer. Now, white people are taking L's. And and for some reason, they're trying to reach out to us. Now, here's the problem I got with the black folks that they're reaching out to. The black folks are opening up their arms, right? Come on, white folks. We will save you. Save them from what? Today, I was listening to this fool, Jesse Lee Peterson, right? Now, I know he's a super coon and all that. Okay, I get it. But he said something very, very interesting. Okay? Said something very, very interesting. He said that black people hate white people. And until black people love white people, we're not going to have any good fortune. Now, and then he said that racism doesn't exist. Now, at first, when you hear that, okay, this man is crazy, right? But check out his reason behind why racism doesn't exist. He said it's not racism, it's evil, because according to the Bible, he says we struggle against forces and principalities and wickedness in high places. That's why he believes that racism doesn't exist, but yet he acknowledged it by calling it evil. Interesting, right? He said it doesn't exist, but he acknowledged it. He acknowledges it by calling it evil. Funny thing about these pastors, right? Especially these black pastors. And we're going to get to the other thing in a minute, but let me just say this here. I noticed that our pastors, black pastors, right, have become court jesters. They're all about performing. See, black people have reduced themselves to performers. Take that debate the other night, right? You have brothers do all of this work, all of this scholarly work, all of this studying, just to come on and waste the knowledge against each other in an intellectual duel, which benefited no one. It didn't benefit kids like Tamir Rice. It didn't benefit kids like Trayvon Martin. It didn't benefit Breonna Taylor. It didn't benefit anyone. You go and you do all of this research, all of this scholarly research, right? You read all of these books. And all you do with this so-called knowledge that you gain is that you gear up and you set the stage to try to send each other to his or her intellectual destruction in front of people. Now, think about this here. This is what I don't understand. You call me a fool, right? Because I don't sound like many of you. I'm not very articulate. I'm from the old school, okay? Yes, I've been to college and all that stuff, but I still don't sound like any of you. I don't sound grammatically correct. I'm not very articulate. I don't sound intellectually spit and polished. Sometimes I sound like an old fool, right? So many of you tend to not listen to what I have to say. But check this out. You have two men ready to do intellectual combat, right? And they've stored all this information up in their minds. They've studied, they've read books, and then they come out to try to send each other to their intellectual destruction. So you have two good minds trying to destroy each other. Where they do that at? Two powerful minds that can be helping black people. Instead of helping black people, they're trying to destroy each other. Where they do that at? And we laughed and scoffed at the slogan, "A mind is a terrible thing to waste." Right? Or the scrambled egg theory. This is your brain on drugs, scrambled eggs. I want you to think about that for a second. Before you go to another black debate, think about what's getting ready to happen. Black men who can't afford any L's, who haven't built any infrastructure, who don't have any wealth, can't protect their women and children, don't take care of their children at all. Many of them don't. Pretty much have left behind no legacies. There's nothing we're known for that's of substance that other people will want. Many black men are, single baby mama making machines. Okay? And you have the nerve to go and do all of this studying and all this research, grab all of these books, all these great books, right? You become well read. And all of the problems that we have as black people, you don't want to use the knowledge. You don't want to use the capacity of your brain that you stored all of this information in. You don't want to use that capacity to help your people get out of a losing position. But you want to use that and turn it against another black man who's doing the same thing to you. Two intellectually great minds engage in intellectual warfare to the intellectual death. One is trying to destroy the other. Where they do that at? And at the end of the day, the one left standing doesn't do anything for black people. Walks away in triumph and has absolutely no interest in helping black folks. This is what you support. This is what you egg on. This is what you pay your money to see. Two great black minds destroy each other. And you wonder why we have nothing. You wonder why we can't make any kind of real advances. You wonder why our women aren't protected and why our kids are being shot and acting like animals. You wonder why. Because the so-called great men in our society are too busy trying to destroy each other. rather than use that intellectual capacity of great intellect to solve problems in our society. No, they'd rather destroy each other. And they want you to watch. And so you pay your little $5, $10 cash app, and you go to the spectacle without even realizing that you're watching two great minds destroy each other. And at the end of the day, everybody loses, especially black people. We lose at the end of the day. Nothing was gained. One mind was annihilated and embarrassed, while one triumphed, and the one that triumphed has absolutely no interest in doing anything for black people. Where do they do that at? And like I said, you wonder why we don't have anything. You wonder why we can't advance. You're wondering why we don't have a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out. And you wonder why our kids are half fucking crazy and the other half are grown up to be career criminals. But getting back to this psychotic fool, this white boy who went Doc Holliday, Wyatt Earp, white privilege. How do I feel about it? Well, I'm indifferent to it. What am I supposed to say? That I feel bad for the white boy? I don't. Do I feel bad for the white boy's family? I don't. Do I feel bad for the mayor who was up there crying crocodile tears talking about gun violence? I don't. Do I feel something about those kids who got shot? Yeah, I do. That's unfortunate. They're kids. It's not their fault. I feel bad for what happened to the kids. But I'm indifferent to the situation because now all of a sudden we need to stop gun violence. But when it was black kids being murdered, when it was black people, Amadou Diallo, I think he was the one shot for the wallet, 50 sometimes or some shit. I'll take you all the way back to Eleanor Bumpers that they lit up. How many of y'all know about Eleanor Bumpers? One of the first people that actually got lit up live on TV. A grandmother. She was suffering from mental illness. She had a knife, and they absolutely lit her up like a Christmas tree on TV. One day I'm gonna do a show on Eleanor Bumpers. Show y'all who she was and what happened to her. And nobody was talking about gun violence then. Nobody was talking about Fernando Castillo, who was murdered by an unfit cop who should have never been on the force. The guy's having anxiety attacks to the point where he can't even breathe. That means that he's frightened. What is he doing on the force? You can't have somebody that emotionally unstable carrying a gun. Did y'all pay attention to the cop's behavior? He was frightened. I don't know what they're telling these cops in the academy about black people. I don't know if when they're in the academy, they're taking them into a little room and say, hey, look, black people are like the Incredible Hulk. If you get them mad, they turn big and green and they start tearing everything up, including you. I mean, what are they telling these people, man? Some of these people are absolutely frightened like rabbits. The cop that killed Fernando Castillo should never have been on a force. How the fuck did he get on the force? Did y'all see what happened to him after he shot? First of all, he was terrified to death when he found out that the man had a gun. And he just started blasting. And then after he killed the man, he stepped back and nearly suffocated with anxiety and fear. He couldn't even catch his breath. What is a man like that doing on the force? Absolutely unfit to be a police officer. The guy who killed Tamir Rice was unfit to be a police officer. Nobody was talking about gun violence. I didn't see any white people talking about, we need to stop the gun violence. Now that their kids are being smoked at an alarming rate, more and more kids, right, are going loco and smoking other white kids. And check this out, it's hitting them where it hurts. Remember when they used to feed our ancestors to alligators? Now look at what's happened to them. They're losing their children too at an alarming rate. And their children are killing each other. Okay? Look at what's happening. The pendulum is swinging back the other way. There's nothing nobody can do. You can talk about gun violence all you want. It's not going to stop until life balances itself out. Right now, there's still an unbalance on the other side, and life aims to collect. There's a debt. There's a balance debt that need to be paid. There's a balanced debt that is owed, and it will be paid. Now, you guys can sit up here and have all kinds of intellectual discussions until you're blue in your face. You know, all kinds of intellectual masturbations about the sun, the stars, the moon, or whatever. I will stick with my simplistic knowledge that life is about balance, because I know that my knowledge is more powerful than yours, because my knowledge reigns supreme. My knowledge is actually happening. It's going to come true, and nobody can stop it. Life will balance itself out. And there's nothing anyone can do about it. No, stop the gun violence. No. Again, there is a debt. There is a balanced debt owed, and it will be paid before life swings back into total balance. There may not be many white people left once the pendulum swings back to the middle. They're in serious trouble right now. And there's nothing nobody can do. So all you coons out there, you need to cut it out. But then again, I can get it. I can get it because some of y'all are hustling these white folks. Some of y'all are saying all of this stuff because you're getting paid. Okay? I see the game in some of y'all. You know, some of y'all don't believe half the shit y'all saying. Y'all just getting that money. Y'all making white people feel good about themselves. You know what I'm saying? But the pendulum is swinging back, and it can't be stopped, and it won't be stopped until it has collect that debt. And it's unfortunate for white people, but they created this themselves. Think about this the next time you go out there and you're one-sided about something. Life is about balance. So whatever you one-sided about, eventually life is going to clear it back to the other side before it goes back into balance. So be careful what you do. There's no way escaping balance, because that's the key to life. This is why you have good and evil. They check each other. Without one, life will go all out of whack and it go crazy. Believe it or not. Seriously. If you didn't have evil, right? The chaos that will be unleashed on this. If you just had good, good will become worse than evil. Because good will all of a sudden develop a bad side. Because what? Life is about balance. So if we got rid of evil, then life is going to split good into two to achieve balance. And so you're going to have a good side of evil and a bad side of evil, and you may end up with something far worse than you had when you actually had evil here. You understand? So let's move right along. Okay. Dang. Hold on, let me see where my all
I'm
right,
here.
let's put the next one up. Let's put up. I believe her name is Crystal. What is it? Crystal
Kaiser.
Kaiser. Yeah, Crystal Kaiser. I believe we say the name.
Mm-hmm.
All right, the next photo you're about to see is a girl named Crystal Kaiser. And you see Rittenhouse on the other side. They believe that his defense will get this young lady off. Now, let me give you a backstory about her. She killed a known sex trafficker named Alan Boyler when she was, I believe, 15. Okay? He was abusing her. He was having sex with her. And he had a bunch of kids that he was sex trafficking and having sex with underage minors, right? She ended up killing him one day. And they put her in jail and charged her with first-degree murder. Okay? And so people got a petition together, or they got an organization together, and they paid her $400,000 bail. Now, how do you give a 15-year-old girl? No, I believe she killed him when he was 17, right, Dane? She killed him when she was 17 or 15.
17.
She killed him when she turned 17. She shot him, right?
Mm-hmm.
And at the time, they gave her a bail of $400,000, right? And gave her first-degree murder. Okay, she killed a sex trafficker, a pedophile, a known pedophile, somebody who was almost about to be arrested anyway, had she not killed him.
Mm-hmm.
A known pedophile, right?
Right.
And so people have gotten her out of jail. And they're claiming that the Rittenhouse defense. Now, I didn't see the Rittenhouse trial, but they claim that the defense that he used is going to be used to get her off. Now, I simply don't even understand why she's in jail to begin with, why she was ever in jail to begin with. Okay? She killed the man that was raping her, a pedophile. As far as I'm concerned, that's self-defense. Why is she even arrested? See, black people, we got to fight for stuff like this. You know how you fight for stuff like this? You got to get involved in your local elections. See, white people get involved in their local elections. That's why shit always, swing in their favor. Because they got to be welcome white supremacists from the goddamn bailiff in the goddamn courtroom to the chief of police to the goddamn mayor to the goddamn fucking alderman, the goddamn what do you call the holder, freeholder? They got them all because they go to those elections and they elect white supremacists. Black people don't do that. Black people don't show up at these elections. Black people only show up and show out when the president is being elected. You can't do. That's why you don't have any goddamn chance in situations like this. You don't have nobody backing you. You don't have nobody that can help you because you don't go to these local elections. You need to get involved and learn how to vote. Any local election in your town, you need to be on it. You need to be involved because that's vital, because these are the people that are directly in contact with your life every single day. The president ain't feeling you like that. But the people in your town, in your state, they affect your life every single day. So you got, this should be serious. White people are serious about these elections. Y'all got to get serious. Y'all got to start showing up, challenging these seats, challenging these sheriffs, challenging these freeholders. Y'all need to get involved. So you can counter them putting these damn racists in these seats. That's only going to favor them. You need to counter that shit. If she had people in her state that was elected by black people, she wouldn't have faced any charges. How the hell you just going to override self-defense because she's a young black girl? Dude is a known pedophile. He was raping her constantly, holding her against her will. She kills him to escape and she gets charged with murder? You got to be kidding me. That's because they got everybody in that state a fucking racist that's been put there by white people. All those seats. Every time you see one of these sheriffs running for office or vote for so-and-so, she's running for office, those are important. You need to start paying attention to those fucking elections. Because those are the fucking people that get in power on white people's side and charge this girl who was defending herself and escaped from a pedophile, a rapist, and a kidnapper, right? The racists who put these people in office are charging this woman, charging this little girl with first-degree murder, when there shouldn't be any charges. This should have been a clear case of self-defense. Dave, when you up to reading some of this, how you feel? Dang.
Yes.
Are you up to reading some of this article, or you don't feel too good?
All right. Okay. So, well, we pretty much said what was going on with the Crystal Kaiser case. But as for the as for this boy, the update is his parents might be charged.
Oh, okay. You're talking about
Ethan Crumley?
Doc Holliday. Oh yeah. Ethan Crumley. Oh yeah. I'm sorry about y'all. His name is Ethan Crumley, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Ethan Crumley, the white boy who went Doc Holliday in Michigan. The one this guy finished talking about.
And here are his parents. Reason why that his parents could be charged: 4 days before this happened, his father brought, let's see, what is it called again?
He bought a what is it, a semi-automatic or some shit? A fucking 9mm.
A Sig SAR. Let me see. Let me find it. It's a particular type of gun. Sig SAR, and that was the one that was used in the shooting.
Well, it's definitely an automatic, a semi-automatic. Because the way he was walking through the hallway, he was just bussing. We don't have footage of him going through the hall. I think they took them all down. It's hard to find it, y'all. So we couldn't find the footage of him actually walking, through the school shooting. Go ahead, Dan.
Yeah, and then Yeah,
I thought you said it was it his father and his brother?
No, his mother. His mother.
Where's his mother at?
Right
I don't see her in the
next to him.
photo.
The one with the glasses?
That's his mother?
Yeah.
I thought that was his father.
His father? No, that's this guy on the left.
What? All right, I thought there was two men up there. All right, okay, anyway, go ahead.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Damn. What the fuck, man? I mean, yo, hold on, wait a minute. That's his mother?
Uh-huh.
Man. Y'all gonna tell me I don't look like two men, y'all. Be honest, y'all. In the chat, type of one if they look like two men. It's okay if you don't think so. Don't say it on my account. I'm just being real with you. That look like two men to me. Type of one if you agree, type of two if you don't. I thought those was two dudes in that picture. I mean, God, I mean, I look at the picture, I'm like, I thought you were gonna get his parents up there. You know, where's his mother at? Okay, Yvette says no, she don't think so. Okay. Yvette can see the woman up there. I'm sorry, Yvette, I can't. I thought those was two guys. And I'm not being funny, I'm being straight honest with you. I thought those was two guys. Excuse me, y'all.
Oh, okay.
Sorry about that, y'all. Be dealing. Me and Dame's a little bit under the weather. All right, anyway.
Yeah, well, anyway, 4 days before, the weapon that he used at the school, his father had brought.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the parents are going to might be charged because since they brought the gun, they were supposed to secure it, keep the bullet separate from the gun, and make sure it was secured for no child. Even though he's 15, he's still considered a child to have access to it.
Nobody's going to do that anyway. That's a stupid ass law. What do you mean you're going to keep? I understand you want to keep your guns out of the hands of kids, right? But somebody breaking your house, you may not have time to grab the gun and then go run to where you got the damn ammo at.
Oh, now I found the gun. It's a 9mm SIG Sawyer's SP 2022 semi-automatic pistol.
Yeah.
Was purchased by his father on Friday, 4 days before the shooting at the school. Authorities to consider charges against both parents. A decision we made that the potential charges stem from the parents owning the gun. McDonald said that means securing it properly, ensuring ammunition is kept separate.
McDonald's.
Yeah. That's the. Let's see. Sorry, they just keep giving me last name. I think that's. I see. No, that's not the sheriff. I think it's one of the lawyers.
All right, then let's wrap it up. I'm going to drop the link.
Okay.
Okay, who is this guy? Naked HD.
Okay, we've been reporting him, hiding him. And he still keeps
All right, y'all,
coming.
get rid of. All right, y'all, get rid of that perv. Somebody get him, please.
He must have so many updates or something like that. I've been reporting him. Oh yeah, they've been hiding him, timing him out.
Yeah. Ban him if y'all can.
Mhm.
If the if the ban option is there, ban him. Okay, get him out of here.
Let's see. Maybe it's something I can do.
Did they get him, Dane?
Oh yeah.
Anybody
Okay.
got him?
Yes. That should do
Huh?
it. Yeah, they
Anybody
got.
got him?
Yeah. Uh huh.
Okay.
Oh wait a minute. What you mean an error occur?
What happened?
Oh, it says I gotta refresh my page. I was trying to block him, and it says I need to refresh my page.
Did they remove the ban feature?
I don't know.
Used to be able
Everybody,
to ban.
they've
Used to be
been
able to
hiding
ban
them.
people.
They've been hiding them. I've been reporting them.
Hey man, when y'all timing people out, do they give y'all the ban option?
Shoes, they ain't timing them out. They hiding them. That means he's not supposed to be able to find his
Is the
channel.
ban option there?
No ban. No ban.
Wow, they got rid of the ban option?
Yeah, you might have to do it, Max. Because I've been reporting them.
No, they should have a ban option there. They don't got rid of the goddamn ban option.
Mhm.
What the fuck, man? They need to bring that shit back. But anyway, I'll have to look up to find out how to get these people banned. All right, y'all. You know, we wrapping up the show, but we getting ready to open up the mic. You know, but pretty much I'm at the end of my rant and, you know, my explanation. So Dane, drop the gangster link. We're going to hang out for a little while. Anybody want to come up and chop it up about what you saw? Questions about, you know, the girl, which I think is absolutely effed up. You know, she killed the pedophile and the rapist that was raping her. This was a grown-ass man, over 30-some years old, overpowering at the time. She was 15, overpowering her, okay, raping her, and then taping her while he was raping her, okay? And, okay, what happened? Okay,
Hello.
yeah, she shoots him and kills him, gets away, and yet she was the one that was charged with first-degree murder, which should have never happened. She should have been hit with self-defense and allowed to go and get some help for her trauma and you know, and move on with her life. This girl will never be the same again. She's going to always be traumatized from being repeatedly raped over and over by a pedophile and a rapist. The only reason why she got charged is because the pedophile and the rapist was white. Had he been black, it would have been self-defense. Then again, they probably still would have charged her. But the only reason why is because she was white. Why was he blocked for 5 minutes? What's going on here?
Couldn't use the block feature, so that's the closest I could get it.
All right, I'll deal with this.
Mhm.
Okay, let me go down there.
Okay.
I'll take care of it.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, that's what was going on with Crystal. I know there was a lot of thing because he been molesting her, raping her. As I said, since she was young. He was child trafficking, and so since she couldn't use that as defense, but since it's been Kyle, it's been Kyle for Rittenhouse case, it was it was okay. That set a precedent. Once you set a precedent, then that means cases after that can use it now. Yeah. So this might help her in her case because they were relentless. Because at the time, I think she'd been charged at 17, but I think at the time of the shooting, she was actually 16. But by the time her case came to court, she had turned 17. Anyway, they tried her as an adult. They pretty much threw the book at her, saying because he had his hand in the air that basically he was unarmed, even though he had moved he moved his arm from in the air to target her or go after her. Because his hand was in the air and he was coming towards her, they were saying that he was defenseless. Well, that she was no longer she could no longer claim that she was defending herself. Well, hey, that was the case with the person Rittenhouse had killed. The guy's hand was in the air. He had his hand up in the surrender pose. But so now that this precedent has happened, that leave it to be open by other people who has similar situations. All right.
Okay, Polo got him. Thanks, Polo. I appreciate it. Polo got him. He shouldn't be coming back no more.
What are you talking about? No.
Huh?
No, Polo is just telling NT about the ban option in StreamYard.
No, but Polo, hit him too.
Oh,
I'm not sure why I told you 5 minutes, but Polo got him. So he should be gone. He should be gone for good.
Oh no!
Okay, shout out to Polo Sport, huh?
No, we've been doing that. That's not the first time that dude's been in here. We've been hitting him up the same way, including Polo. And it ain't been working.
Well, I hit him this time. If it don't work this time, because they're probably making shadow accounts. If it don't work this time, I'm going to talk to Google and YouTube about it. It's not going to be dealing with this shit. All right, y'all. The links in the chat. We just freewheeling it right now. If y'all want to talk, come on up. We'll be here for a little while longer before we shut it down. We wasn't going to do a show tonight, but we just had to talk about these things. And we have to stop, going back to the first one. Put that fool back on the screen, Dan.
Okay.
Going back to the first one, man, we have to start standing up for ourselves and stop letting them treat us with this guilt by association shit. Man, he looked like somebody in the manosphere. Yeah, something wrong with him. Clearly something wrong with him, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, and stop falling for this guilt by association. We got to start standing up for ourselves. Don't let them put us in that guilt by association category again. Okay? I don't want to be connected to this fucking lunatic. Okay, we're not one big nigga. We're not a monolith. We're not. No. He takes his own L. And that's all to it. Ain't got no black power for him. Ain't got nothing for him. No pro-blackness. None of that shit. This a rotten ass nigga that needs to be put away. That's all this is about.
Yeah, you don't see his family coming out for him. And they closer
No.
to him than we are.
Right. That they know he a rotten ass nigga. They probably glad to put, he's locked up now. They probably hate the fact that it happened, but they're probably happy he locked the fuck up. See, man, in my family, I came up in a different, my father, was different, man. My father was one of them old school, hard-hitting country boys.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? They didn't play shit, man. They cave your chest in or knock your head off one. You know? They didn't play any game. You didn't act stupid, man. You didn't go out and do dumb things, man. You can't come back to the house talking about, oh, I was suffering from anxiety and then my girl. Man, I don't want to hear that shit. They don't beat the shit out of you, man. They don't want to hear that shit. Parents didn't play that shit back then. Oh, so you crazy? Okay. I'm gonna be I'm gonna be crazy too. That what your parents told you. Oh, you want to be crazy? Okay, well, I'm about to show you crazy. I ain't play that shit. So he's biracial?
That's what they saying.
Y'all do know biracial people shouldn't be existing, right? Then again, I wouldn't say they shouldn't be existing, but I don't know. Let me take that back because people are going to mate with other people, other races of people. There's no way you can stop that. As much as we, like me, I'm hardcore pro-black. I don't swirl, but that don't mean other black people ain't gonna swirl. You know what I'm saying? So, ain't nothing I can really do about it.
I suspect if they look into his history, there's another one of them biracial who's raised by his white mother and been left behind by his black father. So he's confused.
Speaking of that, man, I was listening to one of these red pill guys, man. We need to really stop it, man, with all of this hating black women. I mean, this shit is stupid. You don't have anybody else in your corner. I don't want to keep trying to tell these dudes, man. Shouldn't have been talking about, well, black women are losing and they're below the poverty line. If they're below the poverty line, that's your fault as a black man. What are your women doing below the poverty line? Chinese women aren't living below the poverty line because they men make sure that they don't. White women aren't living below the poverty line because they men make sure that they don't. Hispanic women ain't living below the poverty line because they men make sure they don't. How come your woman is living below the poverty line? What are you doing? Why are your women and children living below the poverty line? That's on you. That's a poor reflection on you. That means you don't have a handle on things and you ain't providing the right kind of resources. Our women shouldn't be, living below the poverty line. I'm just saying, I'm just tired of hearing all of this shit, man. Like, the MGTOW movement, men going their own way to do what? I always wanted to ask, okay, here's my question. MGTOW, men going their own way to do what? Now, one time we did a show, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we put MGTOW in the title. Man, they ran up in here like gangbusters. Remember that thing?
Oh yeah.
That civilian them had to come in here. I mean, they ran up in here. All of them had D-I-C-K in their name. Every last one of them. Every last one of them
Mm-hmm.
had Johnson in their name. So where are you going? Okay, so imagine having a conversation, right? And y'all calling each other by your name. Every time you turn around, you're mentioning somebody's Johnson.
Mm.
So what could that actually be? What kind of conversation is that? So you want to go with some dudes and y'all going your own way to have conversations about each other's Johnson?
Mm-hmm. It makes me think of them bathhouses.
Now, I'm gonna tell y'all something, right? Dame talked me out of this, okay? But there's been a particular manosphere dude that I've been trying to tell y'all was gay from the start. Nobody believes me. Okay? Because he has a big following over there. All right? And he was served up on a silver platter for me. Because I was going after Red Supreme, and Red Supreme served this dude up on a silver platter. And I couldn't help myself. Dame had to calm me down and say, Max, stay out of it. It's not your fight. I wanted to roast this dude because I've been saying that this dude is gay, and he is finally coming out. He said that he was in a club vibing with some dude right now. I'm gonna let y'all be the judge. I'm not gonna tell you who the name is because they ain't want me to stay out of it. But I can tell you what was said. Okay? My thing is, if you don't want nobody to talk about what you say, then don't make any damn videos on YouTube. So I'm gonna talk about. He said that he was at a club vibing with some dude that he met. That's already suspect in itself. When we went to clubs when I was younger on the club scene, we didn't go there to vibe with dudes. We went there in search of women. Nobody went there looking to vibe with no niggas. But this brother said that he went to the club, he met some dude he was vibing with. Then he met some chick, right? And she offered to toss the salad. All in the club. Right? Then he tried to put on to him about, well, she's a crazy bee. He said he let her do it. So they went back. He left the club with her and the dude that he was vibing with. So he left the club with both of them. And I guess where they got where they were, he said, oh, girl, toss the salad. Then he had the nerve to say he woke up with his asshole wet. Now, to me, that's gay. How do y'all see it?
All right. Mela has called in. I think she wants to tell us what she think about it. Go ahead, Mela.
Hey, Mela.
Outside of homosexual references, like off the salad, like
Yeah.
he was saying he was vibing with a guy, and next thing you know, so like it don't get no gayer than that, right?
No, it don't. It don't. See, I believe he's telling the truth and a lie at the same time. I believe what happened to him happened, but I don't believe the girl did it. I believe the dude he was vibing with did it.
Mm-hmm. Especially when he
Yeah.
said he was a manhandler.
I know, right? I just tuned in. So this is a case where there's DNA evidence against a woman that's accused of
Oh
violating a
yeah,
court order.
yeah, yeah. Are you talking about the girl that killed the pedophile?
Go over the whole thing, but in a nutshell, that's what this is about.
Oh no, we was just
That's
if you
one of
look at
the
the title,
Mhm.
it was a couple of things. We was talking about black people separating themselves from the criminally insane, and then we was talking about the white boy gone Doc Holliday, in Michigan. Then we talked about the Rittenhouse defense that can possibly be used to acquit this young sister who killed her pedophile rapist in order to escape with her life. She got hit with first degree murder, but it should have been self defense.
Okay.
So that's what we was vibing on.
All right. All right. Thank you for answering my question. Thank you.
You're
She
welcome.
sound low.
Well, yeah, she's coming through the phone line. Yeah, she does sound a little low.
Yeah, I don't have a stream yard today. Sorry about that. I can get off and just listen, but
No, it's okay. You can stay on. But yeah, so
if you have any questions, let me know. Thank you.
yeah, you can stay on as long as you want, Mella. But yeah, so like I was saying, and so I hate this dude, man. I've been wanting to get after this dude for a long time. And he was served up on a silver platter, and Dane told me to leave it alone. She said, "No, Max, stay out of it," because my fight was with Red Supreme. I've been going after Red Supreme because he a piece of shit, you know what I'm saying? Against black women. But man, did he not serve this dude up, man. It was a golden opportunity. Could have got two for the price of one. Because I've been saying that this nigga is gay. Oh, no, he's not. No, he's not. No, he's not. Now he coming out the closet, talking about tossed salads and shit like that. Come on, homie. Seriously? Come on. But anyway, y'all, we got the link in the chat. We're talking about. Dan, get this nutcase off the screen.
All right.
Okay. At the end of the,
People can pick up on who's gay online. Isn't that something? It's like they never said that they were gay, but then months or years later, they come out the closet, and you just knew it all along. It was just something about that person that was just kind of fruity,
Well, I don't know how women. Well, I don't. Right. Well, I don't know how women pick up on it, but for straight men, it's real easy to see who's gay. Real easy.
Okay. I was wondering if it's different, because a lot of women don't know. A lot of women they don't know.
Like, listen, I'm gonna give you a tip right now, but you see, y'all don't listen to the guys who, the real guys who give y'all knowledge. Y'all keep listening to these phonies and these other gay people because they sound articulate, right? And you think they really saying something, right? But I'm gonna tell you a surefire way you can tell if they're gay, right? If they use the term masculine. Straight men don't use that term. We never use that term. You know why? Because that is a feminine term. That's the term that women use to describe us. Men don't use we don't use that term to describe ourselves. We hear that term come from women. Like case in point, I used to play football, right? And we'd be lifting weights, whatnot, the girls would be around, feeling our muscles on our biceps. Ooh, y'all so muscular and masculine. That's a term women use. So if you hear a guy using it, he's gay. Straight men never use that term. We don't talk like that. We don't never say masculine. Never. Because why? That's a term, that's a feminine term. That's a term that women use. They use that to describe us. They use that to describe how muscular we are. You know what I'm saying? How manly we look. That's a term for women. Okay, that's not a straight male term. We don't talk like that. Okay? And another thing too, right? Straight men don't talk about other men's Johnsons. We don't do that. You hear a dude talking about another man's Johnson, he can't keep the D right. He can't keep the D word out of his mouth talking about yo, suck my and yo, his D, his dad, they. That's gay. We don't talk about, we don't even think about men like that. Straight dudes don't think about other dudes, especially their Johnsons. We don't get down like that.
Exactly.
That's that gay shit.
And
so like I said,
Here, Max, I was on a panel with you on another channel before, and there was a guy that was trying to cozy up to you because I was feeling it, right? I was like, Max didn't come over here for you to flirt with him, dude. You know, and as it turns out, he is a gay guy. You know.
Yeah, you talking about choke. Yeah, I know you're talking about choke progressive, whatever the hell his name is.
Yeah, exactly. And
but you know what?
He does that all the time with men on the panel that he finds himself wanting to engage in. And I don't know if he understands that he's doing it, but that's what it's like.
Yeah, he's definitely a flank. When I came over there, you was really, irate with him. And I was like, what happened? You know what I'm saying? And so...
He's predatory.
Uh-huh.
He doesn't know it.
Yeah. Oh, I was with you, man. I came over there to lend you some support, and I'm always going to side with you, with the black woman when I'm over there. Because I really don't like, I think RBR is like one of the, but I guess he gets a pass because he's sick and something's really wrong with him. But that dude's a really, really big coon, man.
Yeah, he has a very severe medical condition.
Right, that's why we,
because he's so consistent with his broadcast, I thought I entertained myself for a while, and I found myself growing attached, trying to decipher his whatever he says. Sometimes it's interesting to just try to figure him out.
Yeah. It's entertaining sometimes, but talking to him is useless. It's just useless, man. And I don't really try to talk to him anymore when I go there. I just go there and hang out and maybe get a word in here and there. But there ain't really no talking to him, man.
I'm not mad at anybody that tries to find a sense of purpose while they hope to recuperate from a very potentially deadly illness.
Yeah, no doubt. I wish him all the best with his health. I don't want
purpose is found in having that channel, then I'm not mad at
Right. I wish him all the best with his health. His health is definitely something I want him to have. But he's crazy, okay? And his talking, his coonery is third. I mean, it's otherworldly. And then the thing about it is he really disguised it well. He actually got you thinking. He got most of y'all thinking, right? That he's pulling for blacks by telling you that they want to kill everybody on Earth, right? But when you peel back the layers on that,
he's lying to us. He's lying.
I know, but when you peel back the layers on that, he agrees with everything that white people do. Everything. All the laws, science, everything. He won't even believe nobody black. He don't even And you know what? He tells you, the ironic thing is this, right? He'll tell you that you don't believe him because he's black, but he don't believe other people because they black.
There you go. And that's what people aren't picking up on, because it
Uh-huh.
doesn't make sense for him to claim that he's advocating for black people when all he wants to do
No.
is grade black people. You know, it just doesn't add up. So
Right, he's a
I'm not mad at anybody that wants to find something that they consider meaningful to do as they hope to recover from a
right and
illness.
right. Right. And he doesn't support black people's independence. He doesn't support us thinking on our own. He keeps calling white people third graders, right? But in reality, he treats us like third graders.
Oh yeah,
Well,
he goes to the classroom and all that crazy shit, right?
Right. You know, right. According to him, black people can't have a singular thought on their own. You understand what I'm saying? They can't. He doesn't want black people to have. If you tell her, RBR, we're going to think this way, he'll tell you that you're going to kill everybody black on earth. You know what I'm saying? And then he'll give you some white European solution. And then tell you that J.B. Gunner is telling black people the truth.
I know, right?
I mean, dude is really messed up, man. And I wish him well in his health, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, he's a coon, man. And he's a pretty bad one, too. You know?
Yeah.
And then you have the nerve to come out and say,
I like
yeah,
when
but then you,
healthy enough to talk smack. That means that he's not dead today. So, you know.
yeah, but then you have the nerve, right? But then you have the colossal nerve, right? I don't even know where he got this nerve, huh? Right. So he had the colossal nerve, right? I don't even know where he got the courage for this kind of nerve, right? He comes out on a public platform and says that Margaret Sanger was a savior for black people. Are you crazy? And you know what's even sadder about that? He actually has some, huh?
He goes out of his way to make it make sense, to make it sensible to have that conclusion. You know.
Okay, let me ask you a question. Okay, Mella.
On his panels, right, is because he was up there. He would have
but Mella.
That, and nobody would get on the panel with him for hours.
Right, but let me ask you. Right.
About me that pulled at my heartstrings. I was like, damn. If I was him,
okay,
I would
but let me.
Somebody just ignoring me, you know.
Right, but let me ask you a question. Right? Do you honestly believe? Mella, can you hear me?
I can hear you fine.
Okay. Let me ask you this question. Do you honestly believe that white woman tricked white people into not killing us?
No, I don't believe it. Of course I don't
okay, but you see, yeah, but you know what? But he tries to dress it up. Oh, well, she told the Klan, you know, okay, let's stop lynching them, you know, let's do birth control and all. Man, the guy is just unbelievable, man. Like seriously, Margaret Sanger.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense because they didn't stop lynching black people just because they made abortion legal. You know
Yeah.
what I'm talking about? You know?
Yeah, it's pretty bad. I mean, you know, Margaret Sanger. Even white people are telling him that he's crazy about Margaret Sanger.
Yeah,
okay, and he's still right.
You all being men, you can see through each other's stuff, right? You can tell that there's something about him that just doesn't jive well with you. So you don't want to be bothered with it, you know, for the most part.
Yeah, I come over every now and again, you know, just to hang out for a minute or two, see what y'all up to. But then, you know, I stay for a minute, you know, then I'll leave because he's really a super coon, and I really don't like hearing all that stuff, all the time.
Well, he laughed. He laughed like my grandfather, God rest his soul. So he got points for that. And second of all, when I used to observe his live stream, there would be more than a handful of occasions in the past, we're talking about 2 years ago, where people were just waiting for him to die. You know, like his real brother alive today, and I mean just all kinds of evil stuff that people were just, saying, and he was just taking it and taking it. I said, man, you don't have to put up with people just wishing death on you. You don't have to put up with that. Why do you do it? And so he started making an excuse why he appreciates opposition and opposing thoughts, and I was just like, it's something really tripped out about this guy going on. But he laughs like I remember how my grandfather used to laugh. So I'm going to hang out and listen for a while. And because I had time on my hands, or have time on my hands, I would just frequent conversations with him on the panel. And that's how it all started.
I hear you. He'll turn around and he'll turn on you too.
I can't. Yeah, he's so animated when he talks. It's just really, it's stress relieving almost. It's almost stress relieving. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's hard to explain from my point of view, but it's almost stress relieving how animated he is. Just like when you got a lot of chaos going on in your day. At least it ain't that fucking day. At least it's not that. You know what I mean? And so a lot of people, they listen to him at work. They working at a job they can't stand, and they just love his consistency. Like most times before 12 p.m., he's live, and he's saying stuff that just takes you out of your environment because it's so outrageous. So he's so animated. So I guess. But he's definitely a hard pill to swallow. Yeah, because he's a hard pill to swallow. I'm not gonna lie about that.
Yeah, he is.
I knew when I started to get him out, I had to step back. I was like, wait a minute, I can't be cursing this man out like that. Yeah. Because when you to agree with him about something that you vehemently disagree with, it can get really, really crazy. And I just didn't want to leave that type of impression, I want him to be encouraged as reasonably as possible.
Yeah, we have to start. We have to start. But we have to start defending ourselves, standing together and defending our women. We got too many brothers out here who are against black women, and that's got to stop. We got to get them numbers down. We can't have thousands and thousands of black men who hate black women, because some of them are like really damaging black women with the things that they say, and causing people to have second thoughts about black women. That's not right.
I don't get a chance to see it when I'm in my reality. Hearing it online, it just makes it seem like it's like that hatred for black women is everywhere. When I'm
it's not.
People online, it makes it seem like it's everywhere. You hear about women getting hit with a skateboard. You hear about women being sexually assaulted, molested, all types of stuff. And then you hear what channel holders have confessed what they've been through in their family. And it was just like, wow, I suspected that the world was that low down, but there are just so many opportunities to hear how low down these opinions are about black women. And about black men too. It's just really polarizingly negative. Everything online. But anyway, that's all I had to say.
Okay, thank you, Mela. Anybody up on the panel, Dan?
Nobody else is on the panel.
All right, y'all. Huh?
Oh, okay. I was gonna put the link out again.
No, that's pretty much it. Let's shut it down. It's late. Want to thank everybody for coming through. Go ahead and get the song ready then. Want to thank everybody for coming through. And
Peace, power, and unity.
it's power and unity. All right, everybody. Shout out to y'all. See y'all sometime this weekend for Ladies Night. Thanks, Mel, for coming on up. Really appreciate it. You know, love as always. Peace, power, and unity, everybody. We'll holler at y'all at the end of the week. Yeah, Dan, get us out of here.
All right.
Hey, this the stoner music, man.